Yo, what's going on, guys? Boy Boomer Mac here in another video. Here with my boy David again with another pod. What's going on, David?
Not much, man. What's going on? Glad to be back.
And we both know what's going on tonight after that Dallas game. Nothing
Yeah,
else
yeah.
about
Tough loss for Dallas, but I mean, hey, that's the most Dallas shit you can do is fuck up a game like that anyway. I mean, hey, what you
it.
expect for Dallas?
I take my fucking jersey off. That shit with Dak. God damn it, Dak.
Yeah. Did CD actually do anything in this game?
CD,
Not
he
really.
made he didn't he dropped some passes and he made it like one catch that was good. I mean honestly, dude, the only bright spot of this game for any player on this team, if you want to be realistic, is Amari Cooper had a pretty decent game. Micah Parsons played, good for his first playoff
Mm-hmm.
game as a rookie. Other than that, I mean, everyone else, man. Offensive line did not play very well at all. Uh, Defensive line, the first half was atrocious. I mean, we couldn't stop the run to save our life.
Mm-hmm.
We were getting mauled by their offensive line in the first half. But we'll talk about all that.
Stupid, very stupid penalties,
Oh yeah,
especially in that fourth quarter.
it was
I was
what
just like,
15,
what the
15 penalties
fuck?
total, something like that. 14. It was like tied for the most in a postseason game. Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
That's just coaching at that point. That's coaching.
That's the
Mike
Dallas way,
Brown.
man.
Yep. But like I said, before we start this podcast, first mini tonight.
Cheers.
Cheers. So what's going on, guys? So we're going to talk about start off the podcast. We're going to talk about college football. We never made a wrap up video about the national championship, really the playoffs in general. So let's start off with Cincinnati and Alabama in the first round of the playoffs. So that game, and I know this is late, but bear with us, you guys. We're busy with life. We got a lot of stuff going on in our personal life, so we're just trying to catch up with all the things we
Mm-hmm.
missed, and just let y'all know we have been watching. So we'll start off with Cincinnati and Alabama game. That went about what I would think. Alabama did actually what I thought they were going to do. They were going to play smash mouth football with Cincinnati. They knew they were bigger. They knew they were physical. They knew they didn't have to go in their bags tricks to beat Cincinnati. They just basically gave the ball to Brian Robinson the whole game, ran the ball behind the offensive line, didn't expose too much of their playbook to Cincinnati and to whoever they faced in the national championship, which ended up being Georgia. Um, Very easy game for Alabama. That's about how I thought it went. Grand Cincinnati showed on their defense side of the ball that they have first round. They have NFL guys on their defense side of the ball. Uh, even Ritter or whatever his name is, Cincinnati quarterback. He showed that he can be an
Ritter.
NFL quarterback. So I got to give credit's due. But with that being said, it's Alabama versus a Group of Five school. You can have all the fourth round, fifth round talent you want when you're going against five stars that are going to be first or second round talent. And especially when you got guys on the defense side of the ball that Alabama like Dallas Turner, who's only a freshman, that's a monster, and who's going to be crazy. And you got Will Anderson Jr., who's going to be a first round pick next draft, probably first round first pick. And Bryce Young too. Bryce Young, yeah, he's going to be in that draft too. So Alabama could have two top three picks next year in the draft. So they got it's this is what I thought would happen. I thought Bama would go away with that game. David, you watch that game at all?
Yeah. Yeah. So Cincinnati fans, you got what you wanted. Okay. You want to enter the college football playoffs, and look what happened. Okay. So this point forward, I never want to hear shit about Cincinnati or one of those lower tier teams being in the college football playoffs. We've seen this happen time and time again. When y'all play against top talent, and we talk about top five talent, okay, you just don't show up the way that y'all supposed to show up. What did you think was going to happen against Bama? Y'all thought y'all was going to hang with them? You thought that y'all was going to do score for score? No, you got steamrolled, which everybody knew that was going to happen. I know Cincinnati fans got mad and say that, we was dogging y'all, all this other shit, but we told y'all this was going to happen. I mean, I think the best thing that happened in this game is it boosted y'all's recruiting. I mean,
Oh, sure.
hey, yeah, it boosts y'all recruiting. Y'all probably get some better recruits out of that. We actually saw, just like Mason said, some of the defensive players really showcase the talent, and they can go higher in the draft. I mean, that's pretty much all I took away from that game.
Yeah, pretty short and sweet with that game, honestly. Even in the other playoff game, actually, that game was better than the other playoff game with Georgia and Michigan. I honestly
Mhm.
thought, but here's my thing about that game. With Georgia and Michigan, I honestly thought that Michigan could beat Georgia if Cade, the quarterback Cade, if he can make some big throws down the field. He is a great, great game manager. I will say that he's one of those quarterbacks where he's a great game manager. He'll make the short throws, and he'll make the easy throws. But when it comes to making the tough throws and throws downfield, sometimes he struggles with that. Michigan, they have the best offensive line in college football. They won the award for it. They are the best college football offensive line. I felt like if anybody could stop that defensive front of Georgia, it would be Michigan's offensive line. They ran through them. Georgia's defensive line ran through them. After that, Michigan's defense. I thought their defensive line with Aiden Hutchinson and I can't remember the other dude's name. He's gonna be a first round pick too. He's on the other side of the ball. He's on the other end of the ball. He's
Mhm.
also a defensive end. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. He's gonna be a first round pick. Both those dudes, I thought would put Stetson Bennett on his ass all damn game, and they couldn't. And it showed. Georgia ran through Michigan. It was honestly a waste of a playoff spot. Even though I do think Michigan and Cincinnati should have been in the playoffs this year, I don't think there really was any teams besides those four that really showed they should be in. Now, did Bama and Georgia set themselves apart from everybody else in the country? Yes, but they got to play someone in the playoffs. And if I had to pick if I had to pick two teams to do it, play Georgia and Alabama, it would be Michigan and Cincinnati. Hey, did you watch? I think you watched Georgia and Michigan game.
Yeah, so Michigan had the best offensive line while they was playing in the Big 12. Okay. I mean, sorry, Big 10. So they had the best offensive line while they was playing in the Big 10. The moment they stepped outside of that conference, that best offensive line shit went away. Michigan had to play a damn near a near perfect game to even hang with Georgia. Okay. I mean, in their stars, in my opinion, did not show up the way they were supposed to show up in that game. Hutchinson should have wrecked. He should have fucking wrecked Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett, in my opinion, he's not that good. And I mean, he's like he's an average fucking quarterback. He should have wrecked Stetson Bennett. Did not do that. But he's still probably gonna go number one overall, is because of his body of work and need and who's at the top. Okay. But the stars didn't show up. That's what happens when a Big Ten school plays an SEC school outside of Ohio State, because Ohio State normally does well playing against SEC schools. Anybody outside of that, it just does not work. They're too fast, they're too big, and they're too strong. That's what you get.
I agree. The SEC part about being, the faster, stronger team. Majority of the time, whoever they place outside the SEC, they will be faster and stronger than. Unless it's in Ohio State or in Oklahoma, schools like that, maybe even a Clemson, whenever they get back up again, which I think they will if they have those type of schools like that. Yeah, no, it's gonna be even playing field. But when you go against like a Oregon, a Michigan, a Michigan State, a Miami, a USC, for example, I know right now USC fans are not on the best terms, OU fans, but I'm just saying as a college football fan, USC is not there. I don't give a shit that Lincoln's there right now. Lincoln did not recruit any of those kids there right now.
Right.
Once Lincoln gets his kids in, then I can say, you know what, USC may have a chance. But even I'll get in that later. We'll get in Lincoln and the USC staff later because I have some more to say
Yeah, we'll
about
say
that
that for
staff.
later.
Yeah, I have some more to say about that staff. And not just like trashing them, but just realistic things I'm hearing from the program while they're there. That is real knowledge from people that started at Oklahoma. But besides that, yeah, no, I agree with that statement. I do agree that whoever usually plays the SEC outside the SEC usually does have problems. Granted, besides Bama and Georgia, the SEC didn't have a good bowl season this year. They had a horrible bowl season, and South Carolina won their bowl game, which they did with Shane Beamer. But the rest of the SEC teams, they didn't look good. Mississippi State lost to Texas Tech, which that should not happen. I don't care. That should not happen. There's some other teams I watched that lost. SEC did not look good besides those two, besides the three, South Carolina, Bama, Georgia. So after that, we'll dive into the national championship game. And the reason, guys, it seems like we're speeding through this because it's been so long, and I feel like a lot of people know this, but we're just getting our thoughts on it real quick, so we don't need to spend too much time on this.
It's just our thoughts and opinion on it.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, we already know this." So that's why we're trying to speed up through this and get to our next topics that are more important while you made that note out. So, Georgia versus Bama, the rematch from the SEC championship game. Going into this, a lot of people thought that Bama was going to steamroll Georgia again, like they've done in the past, like they've done in this SEC championship game, like they did in this past SEC championship game. I said no. I said I think Georgia's going to come back and play pissed off, but they got something to prove. And I think that was a wake-up call for them. Because if you look at Georgia's record the whole year and the way they played, the whole year, no one came close to touching them. No one. Georgia was a well-oiled machine, dude. They're whooping everybody in a tough SEC conference. Or tough SEC conference. I think some of those teams get a little gassed up because they're in the conference. But nonetheless, they still beat everyone in the toughest conference in college football. So you give nothing to salute to Georgia. But then they got to that Bama team. The Bama team that, was a little disrespected in the SEC game. Is this really the same Bama team? You lost to Texas A&M. You almost lost to Arkansas. The Tennessee game was close in the first half. You win in overtime with Auburn. It's just one of those things where it's like, is this Nick Saban team really that good? Can they really compete with Georgia? They come in the SEC championship, beat the brakes off Georgia. No problem. Going national championship game, I knew it'd be close, but I thought if Stetson Bennett can make some plays, if Kirby Smart can set him up to where he can make some throws and build his confidence in that game, Georgia will win that game. They will win that game. They have more talent on that team this year than Alabama. Does Bama have the talent for the future? Yes, Bama's always going to have talent. But as of right now, as development and it's being in the system, Georgia was the better football team this year. And it showed. Once Stetson Bennett guys and made some throws, I know the first half was all defense. It was all field goals for the most part. It was 9-6 in that first half. It was all field goals. No one could score a touchdown. Second half comes in. Third quarter, it's like a boxing match. They're swinging, they're testing each other out, they're throwing jabs, they're just testing each other out, just kind of doing little jabs, seeing where they can get the knockout blow in. Georgia finally found the knockout blow in the fourth quarter. Stetson Bennett made a big throw, and I'm pretty sure it was to Pickens. It might not have been George Pickens, but I'm pretty sure it was. If anyone in the comments knows and corrects me, please let me know. But I'm pretty sure it was George Pickens. He made the big throw to that score touchdown. And that's awesome because George Pickens been out for the majority of the season. He had a big injury at the very beginning of the season, and he was supposed to be a first to a second round talent going to the NFL draft this year. Now he's probably going to stay because he's had such a big injury, but he was supposed to be going to the draft this year, from my knowledge. But yeah, and they finally they made it, and after that they made a big turnover. And they scored again. And at that point, it's like, all right, this is Georgia won. They won the national championship. After 40 years of a drought, Georgia finally broke the curse of winning the national championship. And I'm going to be the first to say, congratulations to Georgia fans. It must be the best feeling in the world if you're a Georgia fan. I'm honestly happy for y'all. Haven't won since 1980. And honestly, I have nothing but good contact with Georgia fans. I've never had an ill conversation with a Georgia fan. So I don't know why Georgia fans get so much hate. But for me personally, I've had nothing but good conversation with Georgia fans. And I just want to say congratulations. Y'all have earned it. Y'all were easily, in my opinion, the best team in the nation this year. And the only time it didn't show was the SEC championship game, but that was a wake-up call. Every team sometimes needs a wake-up call. Sometimes it takes a loss. Sometimes it takes a close win. But this turns out y'all need to see a loss. So congrats. David, you got anything else to add on to that?
Yeah, so I agree with pretty much everything that you said, and I'll make this real short and sweet. I think that game between Bama and Georgia came down to will and want. Georgia wanted it more, and they had the will to go out there and fucking take it. The stars, the people that were supposed to show up, showed the fuck up, and they showed up in a big way. They showed up in a really big way, and that's what you got to have. You got to have your stars, your studs on the team show up and show out, and they did exactly that. Now, they had a couple of things swing in their favor. Bama didn't have Mechie. They didn't have the other receiver, Williams, that tore his ACL in the middle of the game. That definitely helped. But hey, kudos to Georgia. You went out there, you did your thing. Arch Manning to Georgia. Everybody, come on. Manning to Georgia. Manning
I
to
got about that too.
Nah. Hey, don't ruin it, okay? We need Arch Manning to Georgia, okay? Everybody, come on, everybody, let's go. I want to see him in a Georgia Bulldog uniform, okay?
I want to see him in a uniform.
Man, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Jeff Levy. Apparently,
Manning to Georgia. Let's go.
We're talking about the same Georgia team that has ruined a bunch of quarterbacks. Dustin Bennett's not going to the league, and if he does, he'll be a second, third string guy. He won't be a first round pick.
Well, he'll be like a Jake Fromm. Okay, he'll be like a Jake Fromm. He'll get drafted. He'll get drafted pretty late, but you got to remember Stafford. Okay.
Yeah, remember Justin Fields.
And
he left the program. He left because they wouldn't start him.
Shit. I mean, that seems like a personal problem with me. That has nothing to do.
One thing is, Kirby Smart is the worst guy when it comes to quarterbacks. He starts guys that are game managers. Archie Manning is not a game manager. JT Daniels is not a game manager. And JT Daniels is on the bench.
Georgia. Hey, Arch Manning to Georgia. Let's go.
I'm just saying, Arch Manning, if you're watching this, if you want to go to the first round or second round NFL draft, go to OU with Jeff Levy and Brent Venables.
He'll go. He'll go first round. Trust me, he'll go first round.
Just saying, if you wanna go first round for sure and guaranteed, come to OU. All right, so go into perfect way to go into this topic. We'll go into a little bit of recruiting. So, Oklahoma, as you guys know, this is a mainly Oklahoma channel, but we talk about college football and other sports and all the other teams too. But Oklahoma's a big time in a lot of guys right now. Ever since Oklahoma's hired Todd Bates from Clemson. I don't know if you know who Todd Bates is, do you? You might.
No.
So, in the college football world, there's two defensive line coaches you want. That's Ohio State, so I'm pretty sure his name is Larry Johnson. And that's Clemson's D-line coach, Todd Bates. Brent Venables made a home run hire on the defensive line, somehow got him away from Clemson after being promoted from D-line coach to assistant coach under Dabo and getting more pay. Somehow Brent Venables waved his wand, told Todd Bates, hey, come to OU, coach my D-line for me. I think me and you can make a great little thing here at OU. When the hire is announced, this has never happened. OU did not reach out to these guys. You see a bunch of 5-star D linemen and defensive ends at OU. Question mark. All these emojis. OU to move. All that. If you're an OU fan, you should be thrilled about the Todd Bates hire. Now that you got Brent Venables, who is arguably the best defensive mind in all of college football, there's no argument there. No one can argue it. You add to the best defensive line coach, if not the best, 1B, right behind Larry Johnson at Ohio State. And I'm probably got his name wrong, but I know it's Ohio State, so I'm pretty sure it's Larry Johnson now. He's 1B behind him. Oklahoma can finally get back to having a fucking defense. And I am for it. And I know there may be some OU fans that are worried about, what about the offense side of the ball? Jeff Levy just put Matt Corral in the first round. Ole Miss just had a top 5 offense in the nation. And he's done it year in, year out with UCF and Ole Miss. I'm not worried about the offense of the ball. Oklahoma's known for offense. Those guys are going to come, and we're always going to have an offense. I can promise you that. The defense is what I'm worried about. And now seeing the coaching staff again, we get Jay Fly or something like that from Alabama, the corners coach. He came from Alabama to be our corners coach. Granted, a lot of Alabama fans are not thrilled about him. He only spent 1 year there. And he got you Elias Ricks in the transfer portal. That was a 5-star. So the guy can recruit. You go turn around. You get Coach Ruth, who has been a head coach at other programs before, and now he's a defensive coordinator. All these guys on the defense side of the ball should all be either assistant coaches or head coaches of programs right now. Besides Alabama, besides Coach Jay. He should probably still be a position coach because he's still fairly new and he never got. But everyone else in the defense side of the ball should probably have their own programs right now. And Brent Venables, for him to pull that move off is awesome. You look at Jeff Levy on the offensive side of the ball. He definitely should be a head coach somewhere. I don't know how the hell he's not. But and he used to go to OU. He was an OU guy, so that's probably why he took the offensive coordinator job at OU. And then after that, we retained the rest of our offensive staff with DeMarco Murray, Bill Beanbo, Cal Gundy. All those guys didn't follow Lincoln. They stayed at OU. So if you're an OU fan, you should be very excited about the staff and recruits that are coming in. You got Nick Evers, who is a top 200 kid in the nation overall, and I can't remember his quarterback rank off the top of my head. You bring in Jaden Gibson, who is a 6'5" wide receiver, who is also a top 200 player. You bring in it's just awesome to see this. And you bring in Nicholas Anderson, who is Rodney Anderson's brother. And if you're an OU fan, you know who Rodney Anderson is. He's one of the better running backs we've had in the past 20 years, probably, I think, before he got hurt. So with that being said, if you're an OU fan, and this is what's going to lead into the Lincoln Riley deal, David, that I was telling you about off camera. I know a lot of OU fans are worried because you have Mario Williams, who just transferred to USC and committed. You have Caleb Williams, who entered transfer portal. And I know there's some OU fans that are saying that, oh, he may come back. He's gone. Him and Mario Williams want to play, or Mario Williams want to play with Caleb. Mario's not going to commit to USC unless he has some kind of idea that he knows Caleb is going to USC. And is Lincoln a scumbag for taking our recruits and kind of getting our players to transfer over him? Yeah, he is a scumbag. Let's be real. Because there is an unwritten rule in college football. When you go take a job somewhere else, you don't steal your past schools for kids. Brent Venables didn't. Brent Venables had
but those are his players that he recruited.
That.
Yeah. Like you're in damn if you do, damn if you don't. Yeah, you still want to look after the kids that you brought in, which I don't think that he's doing the best job of looking after a lot of the recruits that he did bring in. And he kind of left a lot of them high and dry because a lot of them are not that fortunate to enter the transfer portal, go to USC and still play. But I guess a lot of them still feel that, hey, me following Lincoln, me being a Lincoln system is probably the still best bet for me to get to the next level.
My problem with the Lincoln situation is there's a certain way you handle stuff. Lincoln went about the worst way of leaving OU he could have. He went about the worst way you could do it. And when you sit there and you lie to the fan base face, I don't give a shit. You said you didn't accept the job at LSU. You knew what that question was about. That question, when he asked you that question, are you having any thoughts about taking that LSU job? That question was not about only LSU, it's about any other job. And you know it was. Like, and don't play dumb. For someone that has the smartest offensive mind in college football, you should play dumb a lot. Don't play stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You knew what that question was, and you said no. Just to turn around at midnight to take the job, or you say you took the job. You don't take a contract that big in this one day, buddy. It takes some months because you gotta get the family has to come look at houses. You and your family have to go meet the AD and the president of the university and see if you fit and see if y'all get along, if y'all can work together. That doesn't happen in one night. That doesn't. I'm sorry, it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So when he says, "Oh, I wasn't planning on leaving OU till over tonight," that's bullshit. That's bullshit. I'm sorry, I don't see it. And then,
so hold on. So I think what a lot of people have to understand about Lincoln Riley is this. Look at what he did at Oklahoma. Okay, he had a plethora of talent all across the board. Okay, he had first pickings and all the top recruits coming out there, all over the country, X, Y, and Z. What did he do? Did he win a national championship? No. So that does not necessarily mean just because he go to USC, he brings in all these 5-star recruits that somehow he's going to just win a national championship. Lincoln Riley, in my opinion, and Mason, me and you have talked about this multiple times. I think part of Oklahoma's failures has been Lincoln Riley. It rests on his shoulders. It rests on his shoulders to why he never could assemble a fucking defense. I mean, that type of shit pisses me off about him. But I mean, he's still an unproven coach, in my opinion. Okay, so don't get all bent out of shape because he left and he's taking people with him. I mean, hey, if y'all just gonna jump ship like that, y'all better just go ahead and get the fuck on out. We're trying to build something new here. So don't really get too butthurt about him leaving and taking people. Again, he's unproven. So who knows what's gonna happen? A lot that you can take from is he ran from the SEC.
Another thing is, and honestly, a lot of OU fans think this is a blessing in disguise because if you look at the team that we had this past season, we got bullied sometimes by the Baylors, the Iowa States, the Oklahoma States. And
More than you should have.
There's no reason why kids that are rated this high that are on our team, on our roster, should get bullied by kids like that. And that comes down to the weight program. And I'm happy that he took our old strength and conditioning coach with him. Because apparently, a lot of kids in our program said that their high school workouts were harder than what they did at OU with him, with our strength and conditioning, our old strength and conditioning coach. And to me, that's the core. Your strength and conditioning program is the core. That is when you come bigger, stronger, faster. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, the stars matter." No, development is where you need to be at. Your strength and conditioning coach should be your best friend. He should be your best friend. A lot of guys in the OU program did not like it because they thought he was too soft. Thought he didn't push the guys hard enough. Thought he was too laid back on them. And that's why I'm happy we got Coach Smitty back from Texas A&M. He is not, if the thing is, he is rated as a top 3 to number 1 strength and conditioning coach because there's horror stories from other guys that came from his strength and conditioning program that will tell you that he will push you to the max. He will get the most out of you. He will get you stronger. He will get you faster. You will hate him, but by the time you leave his strength and conditioning program, you will be in NFL shape already. That's what OU needs. And that's what I'm happy for the hire. And that's what I'm telling USC fans. If you think you're going to come into Oklahoma or Alabama or the Ohio States and think your lines will push around all these other schools' lines, it's not going to happen with that staff. I'm sorry. It's not. And I can tell you right now it's not going to happen because I watch it. Alabama, Georgia, LSU. I've seen it happen. I've watched it happen. Us get pushed around. LSU is a prime example. It's going to happen to USC. So that's why I'm not too mad about it. I just don't like Lincoln. I'm not mad at USC program. I can give a shit less about USC program. Their culture is trash, honestly. There's a reason why they haven't been to the playoffs yet and haven't done shit for a while. It's the culture. Your fans can't sell an arena right now. So, and I'm telling you right now, there's more fans in Arkansas games.
Right, man. With bringing in a very strong defensive minded head coach, the Broncos just went through this for the last 3 years. We brought in arguably one of the best defensive minded coaches in the whole NFL. But the problem is he did not assemble an offensive coaching staff that could run the offense so he can focus on the defense. Now, it sounds like what's going on in Oklahoma is he did the complete opposite. Okay. He brought in an offensive coordinator that is going to take Oklahoma where it needs to be. So then he can focus on, game management and the defense. So don't get too bent out of shape that, we got a defensive coordinator. Yeah. What about the offense? It's all about who he brings in on the coaching side of offense to actually push things along. But hey, it sounds good to me.
Oh, it sounds amazing to me. And the majority of OU fans are happy that this is happening with defense. But there's some that are saying, well, our offense. Well, maybe look at the offense, but majority of OU fans from my team are happy because of the Brett Venables hire and defense. And I'm gonna tell you now, guys, another some OU fans say, "Oh, national championship next year," but that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not gonna happen.
You're in a rebuild phase.
Yeah, we need to go get a Big 12 championship next year. That's what I want. Because don't get me wrong. No one thought that Michigan would make the playoffs this year. They weren't even ranked in the top 25 in the AP preseason poll. So, I'm not saying we can't make the playoffs. I'm just saying, don't sit there and give your hopes up. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying I'm realistic. I think our ceiling right now is Big 12 championship. And after that, we'll see what happens. And if for some reason, the competition's kind of slid down, I know you had a chance, then let's go for a natty. But as of right now, I just want to win a Big 12 championship. That's what I'm content with. As of next year. Now, a year after that, once we start getting our players in and staff starts getting who they want in, then I'm saying it's time for a national championship. But Other than that, let's talk about transfer portal because I know Danny, you have some thoughts on this. I'm gonna let you take off your thoughts first on the transfer portal. What you guys say about it?
Yeah, this whole transfer portal is a clusterfuck. Okay, I mean, let's just be 100% honest, man. This shit here is a fucking clusterfuck. I mean, you have any and every quarterback in the whole entire nation that's even worth talking about. All of them transferred, and not including the ones that are going into the draft. There was no point of them transferring, and they knew that they were about to enter the draft. But I mean, look at the amount of quarterbacks that have transferred and went to other schools. Um, Look at the amount of running backs. I mean, just anybody top ranked player damn near into the transfer portal that was not going into the draft. Now, how is that supposed to help anybody's team? Now, if you're an Arkansas Razorback fan and you got your best people into the transfer portal and leaving Oklahoma, Alabama, all these other schools, Ohio State, this right here spells trouble if you don't get it under control. And you got to get it under control real quick.
Arkansas is making some moves in transfer portal. They're making some big moves. They got 5-star Drew Sanders from Alabama that was a sophomore this year. He just announced that he's transferring to Arkansas. They got Jaden Hazelwood, 5-star out of Oklahoma, that transfer out of Oklahoma. He's going to Arkansas.
Well, the transfer portal can help you, kind of like how it did Michigan State. How Michigan State got all those transfer kids in.
Their running back, he transferred from Wake Forest.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's almost like college basketball. Why should I be invested in a team and the own kids are not invested in a team? They're just hopping and skipping to whatever program suits them best, whatever money they can get, TV, on TV, all this other stuff. I mean, hey, I get it. You're not getting the reps that you want. You think the person in front of you, hey, you think you're better than them. X, Y, and Z. So you keep hopping from school to school to school. I saw the other day, I can't remember the kid's name. He's on his third school already. I mean, he's on his third school after jumping into the transfer portal that many times. To me, it kind of smells trouble because, I mean, hey, I get it if it's a better situation, a better fit, but I think a lot of these kids are just doing it because they're just trying to change the whole landscape of college football. I mean, when you look at the amount of quarterbacks that have transferred, I mean, that right there, that to me spells trouble. When you have any top rated quarterback that's just transferred out of their school, going somewhere else, making moves, visiting here, visiting there. You got other quarterbacks that's waiting on this guy to see where he go so he can go to the opposite school.
I agree.
That's not good, but it's still early, but they need to kind of figure out some, but
that's my thing.
I really don't know. I really don't know what you could do. I mean, you can't stop people from transferring schools, but at the same time, loyalty is one thing. Fans look at and they root for schools based on the kids that they bring in, they get invested in them. But if everybody's transferring out, you're kind of damaging your base there.
I think they'll need to find some type of rules for the transfer portal. They need to get some type of rules, like something like, maybe if it's like a deal where you have to be a certain class, like to transfer. Like, I mean, maybe if you're a sophomore, or if you're on your junior year and it's not even touching the field. And maybe there's something like playing time. I don't know. There's got to be some way to adjust this to make it better for everybody, because I don't agree with the way how a kid that doesn't play his true freshman year pops into the post, hey, I'm not playing. Well, yeah, you're not fucking playing because you're a freshman. You got sophomores and juniors and seniors that have been in the program for 3 years or more developing you are. Of course you're not going to play. You're not every freshman is going to play. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's just not going to happen. And, it's just like kids are scared of competition. They're like, oh, well, I didn't play this year, and there's 2 5-star. Let's say I'm a corner. Oh, I didn't play this year, but there's 2 5-star corners right behind me. I don't know if I want to, risk. Dude, get over it. It's football. It's competition. If you don't like competition, you're not going to make it in the NFL. I'm sorry to tell you. and you might as well not even be playing football.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the same thing goes with the NIL deals. There needs to be a rule on that because Texas is, and I'm not picking shots at Texas because it's Texas. I'm using them as an example because they are the biggest example to use right now for this. They're paying offensive linemen $500,000 just to sign. That is not an NIL deal. That is not a deal. That is not an NIL deal. That is a school paying money like they're an NFL franchise. No, that is not what this is used for. This is used for players to use their name, image, and likeness from other companies and other things like that. Business. It's business. It's like when you make a YouTube video, you can make money off of YouTube. You sign a little advertising deal with Canes. You can use that. You can get the money, use it for what you want. Not the school say, hey, you come. Not come to someone's house and say, hey, you come to Texas for paying $100,000. No, that's not what this is used for. And granted, until they put a rule on it, who's the fault? Texas. That's not, until they put a rule on it, they're just doing what they're doing to get recruits. That's recruiting. It's part of football. It's you got it.
Texas is a business.
Exactly.
The University of Texas is the business, so
exactly.
they're going to bend the rules every which way they can.
Exactly, and you can't fault them because I guarantee you, Alabama or OU would do it too if they had the boosters like that. It's just Texas got so much money they could do it. I guarantee you USC is doing it, and we don't even know about it. It's just because Texas is the most hated school right now in college football. Texas is getting all the blame. I guarantee you the USC is doing it because they make a shit ton of money also. They're in LA.
To me, the perfect story of this whole transfer portal thing is what they said during the national championship game. The running back from Alabama, Robinson, he got passed over. He got pushed down the depth chart. I mean, this dude had Najee Harris, Damian Williams. I mean, he had so many good Alabama.
Wasn't Najee Harris the same story? Then wasn't he not start till later in his college career?
Najee Harris, he started pretty early. I mean,
because there's a rumor saying he wanted to go back home and he was homesick and feel like he wasn't getting a fair shake. It's like,
yeah, that was part of it.
Go back to California, go back home.
I mean, he wasn't getting as many carries and stuff like that. Yeah. You got to remember, he's from California. He's all the way in Alabama. But that guy, he literally waited until his senior year to become the starting running back. I mean, that's how long it took. Sometimes it takes that. And I think you said it perfectly is a lot of kids nowadays, they don't want to compete. You were the big man on campus in high school and you want that to just translate into college. There's no more, hey, prove yourself. Like Quentin Ewers. Yeah, he went to Ohio State. He didn't, and we all know why he went to Ohio State, but he didn't beat out Stroud. And so now he should stay, battled it out some more. He could have got better. He could have developed and grew and grew and grew. And maybe he'll been a starter at Ohio State one day. But no.
Bro, and here's my thing about this. And we're talking about, Brian Rothstein all 4 years. There's some kids that are freshmen that, like Latrell McCutcheon from OU. He was a highly rated corner. And I'm going to tell you, and this is where we're getting to the drama thing of Bob Stoops and players that are going to the NFL from OU commented on this about Mario Williams and Latrell McCutcheon. He got snaps his freshman year. And there's some plays he looked good. He looked like, he could be a really good corner for you. But there's just a lot more plays where he showed his freshman mistakes where he got burnt. Mm-hmm. He got burnt. And it's like, dude, we keep playing you and you keep doing freshman mistakes. That's a sign to us as a coaching staff that you're not ready to be thrown into the field yet. So therefore, we're going to start Woody Washington, DJ Graham, all these other guys that have showed us that they can play in a field. They can play on the field. Now your time next year may come if you just stay the course and stay committed. No, instead he hops in the transfer portal, and the first thing his dad, some Oklahoma fans said, "Oh, I bet he's going to USC." His dad said, "No, he's not going there." Just to find out 2 days ago, the motherfuckers on a visit at USC, taking photos and pictures in a USC uniform, and it's like, and it's not that he's going to USC. It's like, bro, it's like you were just trashing this coaching staff, the whole staff that was at the defense staff that was OU. Because some of the defense staff went to OU, actually, pretty sure most of them did. You were just trashing, saying how you weren't getting no playing time. This staff is trash. And now you're transferring to them? Like, I get new starts, but tell me where that makes sense, man. Like, and then I'm going to tell you a tweet that got put out by Nick Benito. A lot of OU fans know this and saw this because it was a big deal. on OU college, even a lot of college football fans in general, just saying like, "What the hell's going on?" OU Twitter. What did he say here? I'm about to pull it up right now. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Here it is. It says some of these kids talking down the coaches all season. Now they want to join them at USC. A bunch of clowns. OU don't need them. Don't need them. Keep an eye. This is Nick Benito. He's going to the NFL draft. He'll be a late first round or early second round pick. He has no. He doesn't have to fight this dog at all. I mean, granted, he's an OU graduate, but he really doesn't have to say anything about this. He can just go to his NFL career and be. I don't care. I'm not there at OU no more. But he sees the bullshit. He sees what's going on. Then you turn around and you get Coach Bob Stoops. Bob Stoops, a legend, a coaching legend, quotes the tweet, literally quotes it, and puts eye emojis over it. That right there says a lot. That tells you a lot. Not that they're going to US. I mean, that they're going to USC too. I think that's half the problem too. I think half the problem is that you're going to a staff that you just bash all damn day, every day because you didn't get to play. But it also shows that you're scared of competition. When you go to USC, you don't think USC still gets 5-star talent. It don't matter who the coach is there; they still get 5-star talent.
Right.
You just think you're gonna walk on, you're gonna go transfer over to Lincoln and Alex Grinch and that you're going and Roy Manning. You think you're just gonna, become a starter just because you play with them at OU? No. If Damani Jackson outshines you, he's starting. He is playing over you. It doesn't matter. So I don't know what made him think going to USC. And I think it's because he has history with the defensive staff that he thinks they're going to start him. It's not going to happen. You had a better chance starting at OU. Let's be honest, you did.
Yeah. Caleb Williams, he probably has a really good chance of starting if and when he does transfer to USC because, hey, Lincoln Riley has to come in and he has to prove himself. Well, so he has to put in.
The thing is, they just lost. Here's a scary thing. So I want you to go. I want to bring this theory up to you. I'm actually pretty sure Caleb's going to USC, and no, I know ill will towards Caleb. I think he's a great kid. I think he's well spoken. I think he'll be a first pick wherever he goes. I respect the way he went out. I do. He stayed at OU. He finished the season, played the bowl game, and then he left. He finished what he started. I'm okay with that. And he even said that it's going to take. He even said before he played the bowl game, hey, he's like, I'm going to need time to think this out. He said, I will enter the transfer portal, but it's only to talk to their schools. OU will still be a real option. So the way he handled it, awesome. No problem. You go to USC, you go to Georgia, I don't care. Good luck to you, Caleb. I do think that it's bullshit though, but what your dad's saying about it's NFL development. That's why you're looking. Coach Slater just put a guy in the first round. Lincoln Riley, last time I checked, he put Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield in the first round. But Baker and Kyler Murray are already there before Lincoln got there. And Hurts, he was a second round pick. So yes, Lincoln has that track record, but all three of them, who's really doing anything besides Kyler Murray? No one. So when you say NFL development, define to me what you mean by that. I'm not talking about Caleb, I'm talking about his dad. His dad's over a lot of this. Carl Williams. Tell me what you mean by NFL development. Because NFL development can mean two things to me. One, get my son to a good draft spot where he'll get drafted and make some money and let the NFL organization develop him as an NFL quarterback. That's realistic. But saying linking, what I'm thinking he's thinking this. Your definition, Carl Williams, of NFL development is make my son a first-round pick, but also make it when he gets in the NFL, he'll win MVP his rookie year. No college coach can do that. I'm telling you right now. They can get you to a first round draft pick, but they will not get you ready for the NFL. That falls on the NFL staff. That's why they're there. That's why there's coaches in the NFL, because they have to develop you to get you ready for the NFL game. Because the NFL game is a lot different from the college game. Lincoln has never coached an NFL game. So he does not know anything about NFL pace. Let's be real. So
man, there's only a handful of schools, and I mean a handful of schools that have anything to, when you talk about NFL ready, so okay, so if his dad's talking about, so we're looking at NFL development, why are you not looking at Alabama? Why are you not looking at Ohio State?
Honestly.
Why are you not? I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, if you're talking about NFL development, the number one on your list should be Alabama.
Oh yeah,
Straight up. I mean, there's Alabama players that have went into the NFL and said, "Oh, my workouts
and
at Alabama
I'm
were
not
hard."
discrediting Lincoln at all. Lincoln is a great offensive mind. He will put Caleb in the first round for pick. I guarantee it. But when you say you're leaving OU for NFL development, you do realize OU's had first round, first pick, and Heisman rank quarterbacks before Lincoln got there, right?
Right.
That was Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
You had Sam Bradford there, Jason White, Josh Heupel. Those guys were good quarterbacks and went to the NFL. Landry Jones went to the NFL. Like the guys were going before. OU would get you to the NFL. So my thing is, I just want to know what his definition is. Because my thoughts is, I think it's NIL. I think they want money. Because the story I heard is that Georgia offered him $1 million. He turned it down. Carl Williams did. So no, that's not. We're not interested in that. So my thing is, how much do you think Caleb Williams is worth? Because he's only a freshman, and granted, for a freshman, he played amazing. That's the best freshman quarterback there is. But it wasn't a Bryce Young season. It wasn't a C.J. Stroud season. It wasn't. It wasn't a Matt Corral season. It wasn't, a Ritter season from Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you think Kev's worth more than $1 million? Because I don't even think he's worth $1 million. I think he's not even worth 500.
Well, the only places and now that you probably thrown out the price tag, that's probably why he hasn't gone to some of these other schools, because they tell you to pound sand. You talking to Nick Saban and you be like, hey, I want $1 million. Nick Saban will probably tell you, hey, go fuck yourself. So he has to go somewhere like USC, where the fame and fortune reign supreme out there. It's all about glitz and glamour and going to the Playboy Mansion at USC.
Here's my theory. This theory I want to bring up to you, because there's a guy I follow. He's not even an OU fan, he's a college football fan, and he has some really good sources. And he brought this up. If Kent was going to USC, and wouldn't he already committed if his visit went well? Because there's a lot of smoke saying that he left USC not very happy, not unhappy, but not thrilled. Like, he still wants to talk to other schools. And there's word, I know a guy that knows a guy that works at the program, that USC, or not USC, but OU has talked to Caleb lately, like this week. They have talked. They're still communicating. So, and I don't know if you know this, Jackson Dart, who was he's a big quarterback at USC. USC fans love him. They thought he was going to be the next big thing. He's ranked number 60 nationally, and he's ranked number 10 quarterback. But he was ranked top 100 nationally as overall prospect in 2021. That's an awesome ranking. That means you are probably going to be a first or second round kid. He transferred out. And so did Michael Trigg, who was a tight end that was ranked 140, 130 nationally overall. And they're buddies. They took a visit to OU. And they came away liking it. So my thing is, wouldn't it be ironic if Lincoln lost both Caleb and Jackson Dart? What do you do then? Because if you don't know this, Lincoln has a problem putting all his eggs in one basket when it comes to recruiting. He did it with Kamara Wheaton. He did it with Jason McClellan. He even did it with Bryce Young. Oklahoma was in that race with Bryce Young, but he was at USC. Then he decommitted, and Lincoln went all in on Bryce Young. And he came close, but Bama got him. Nick Saban did his magic and got him. Lincoln has that problem. Is this another time where this could come back and bite him in the ass? I doubt it. I think Kip's going to USC. I think the Mario Williams commitment proved that to me. But it is an idea. It's something to think about. What do you think, David?
Man, we can sit here and speculate, go around and around. I think you and I both know what's going to happen and where this kid is going. Yeah, it's just, man, with this whole transfer portal shit, man, I think we both can agree, like, you got to get some of this shit under control and under wraps, because this is literally shaping up to be a whole clusterfuck. And honestly, if fans of certain programs, if all their kids, hey, don't let this turn into be a college basketball thing, one and done in certain universities. then you really won't have a fan base. I mean, don't get me wrong, we love college football and, we love pro football too. But hey, if people can't be committed to certain schools and they're just going to go wherever, form these super teams, hey, call your buddy over here, from,
that's the thing,
Elite
man.
11 and let's go here, let's go there.
Yeah.
And fuck that.
And that's the thing that makes college football. And let's be real. You ask a lot of people in America what they like more, college football or NFL. A lot of them say college football because
a
lot of them are so faithful to the school.
Yeah.
They're so faithful to the school. But when you do stuff with the transfer portal, you know rules and ways to control it, you lose that. And granted, like I said, I'm not taking away. And I know there's parts of NFL fans that watch this. I take nothing away from the NFL. Is an amazing league. I love my Cowboys, but my my Sooners, I'm so faithful to them because it's just the passion. You have so much passion for those programs because it's the tradition. And that's what really comes down. It's the tradition. And when you have these players just going back and forth, it just ruins the tradition of college football in general. It's the whole tradition of college football. Because when you commit to a school, you're saying, hey, I'm for this school. I will not leave this school. I will
You're
tough
going
it
to
out.
at least get 3 to 4 years of
and
that
if it's not working out by my third year, I may transfer. That should be a deal. Junior year, if I'm not seeing any significant playing time, then I should be allowed to transfer. But if you're a freshman, sophomore, transfers should not be even involved with them at all because they're still growing. Half of them haven't even fucking developed their fucking brain yet. So let alone athletically. So, I mean, I think there needs to be rules set on that. But as we go on to the NFL, next we're going to the NFL topic. Jackson Dart, Michael Trigg to OU. God, that would be an amazing quarterback room at OU. Nick Evers, Dylan Gabriel, Jackson Dart. That'd be awesome. But we'll go on to the NFL now, guys. I was trying to avoid this talk this weekend, honestly, after tonight, but we'll do it anyway for you guys. So Saturday night started playoffs, right? Saturday night, last night, right?
Yep, Saturday night.
The first game was the Raiders and Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati has finally broke the fucking curse. Holy shit. I never thought I'd see the day. Shout out Joe Burrow. Even though you beat the shit out of my Sooners, shout out to you. You are a beast, dude. You are a different breed. And shout out
Joe Burrow is real deal. Yeah. When you talk about a franchise when you talk about a franchise quarterback coming out of college football, look what he's done not only his first year, in his second year, and what he's done with their school.
He didn't even have a first year. He got hurt.
He got hurt.
He had a first year, but he didn't get fully.
Yeah. I mean, but he was still playing pretty damn good. His first year,
like he had potential.
And then what he's done this year, him and that coach. See, Zach Taylor. I mean, this is his first head coaching gig, and he's letting Burrow, hey, go out there and play fucking football. Go out there and play.
Hey, Jamal Chase. Bro, them LSU guys, Justin Jefferson,
real
Jamal Chase.
fucking deal. Real fucking deal down there at LSU.
My claim that LSU was the greatest college football team of all time. Look at what their guys are doing in the NFL right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at Edwards Clyde at Kansas City as a running back.
Yeah.
He's having a good
yeah.
Dude.
Look at their defensive linemen. Look at their cornerbacks. Look at their safeties, running backs, offensive linemen. God. I mean,
ridiculous.
But hey, that's a topic for a different day.
Yeah. Anyways,
kudos to Cincinnati. I was rooting for Cincinnati. I wanted them to finally get over that hump, and they did. It's good to root for somebody like that. I fucking hate the Raiders. Fuck you, Raiders. I'm a Broncos fan, so never root for the Raiders. But hey, I was glad to see them actually beat them and get into the playoffs, deep into the playoffs. Now let's make a run. And now, depending on who they play this weekend, it may stop short because they did leave a lot out there. They let the Raiders creep back in there kind of late.
26-19, right?
Oh yeah. They kind of crept back in there late in the game.
They're at the goal line.
They start to get hot. Yeah, then they start to get hot. If it was not for that pick by that linebacker, whoo, that right there was tough. But hey, kudos to Cincinnati.
So next year the Buffalo Bills are New England Patriots at Buffalo. Do we really have to go too much over this game, man? Like, I mean, Buffalo
Nah,
is diminished.
Buffalo showed up and showed out, and we're not even going to get into the Belichick, Brady, and all that thing. Hey,
Aaron Jones hasn't
Buffalo
looked really
showed
that
up.
bad though. For his rookie year under the Patriots, he hasn't looked horrible. I mean, he looks like he has some sort of potential to be a decent quarterback under Belichick, Mac Jones. It's his rookie year. He
Yeah,
didn't look too bad overall.
man, when
Not the
you were
game,
running
but
on
season.
that much, when you running on that much firepower with the Bills, is tough to
Yeah.
stop. Josh Allen is fucking tough to stop in and of itself. That dude is a
I
beast.
believe he came out of high school with no scholarships, had to go to JUCO and only had one out of JUCO from Wyoming. That is crazy. And this kid's going on. It's so crazy.
Yeah, balling the fuck out. Yeah, so kudos to Buffalo there.
All right. So next, after that, we had the Buccaneers and the Eagles. Jalen Hurts threw 3 interceptions. My boy didn't do so hot. Tom Brady at the beginning of the game looked unstoppable. He was getting the ball out quick. He
Mm-hmm.
was hitting. It's like he knew who he was throwing to before he even thought about it. Buccaneers roll over Philadelphia. I mean, dude. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I think this Tampa is just a better team. Tampa is just a better team overall. So it was, and they're
Yeah,
missing guys,
absolutely.
and they're missing guys.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the Eagles right now, man, they're pretty much a shit show. I mean, the Super Bowl curse with them is fucking real.
Yeah,
They won that Super Bowl, and
they
ever
got the
since they
Super
won the
Bowl,
Super
but it
Bowl,
came at that price.
yeah, it came at a steep price. I think Eagles fans, y'all gonna be paying for that for the next couple of years. It's one of those things like Eagles fans are some of the worst fucking fans in just fan base history. And I think this is a little bit of karma coming back to bite y'all.
So then after that, we had the Dallas game. We had the Dallas Cowboys game.
Love it.
I guess
Love it.
for this, I'll switch over for a second for this. God damn it, man. Doing this stupid shit, man.
Hey, you're a brave one for putting that beanie on, but hey, Cowboys
So
do what Cowboys do. Fuck it up.
Going into this game, I was very, very confident, to say the least. I said this is the best chance we had to make a run to the NFC Championship. And since that year with Tony Romo, we went 12-3 and got bounced in the first round by the Giants. I was very confident. And then first drive of the game, 49ers this runs down our throat. They scored the first drive. Their offensive line was mauling our dudes. It was a tough, very, very tough first half. Offense couldn't get it going. Dak Prescott had a very tough first half. Wide receiver, CDN, the guys weren't catching the ball. Offensive line wasn't blocking. It's a bunch of shit show. Then second half, Cowboys do what the Cowboys do. They give me fucking hope. They give me hope. And we look good. We force a turnover. We get an interception. Next thing you know, we had an incomplete pass. It looked like he caught it. He didn't catch it. No, he didn't catch it. I'm not saying he caught it. He didn't catch it. But it looked like he caught it. And he fumbled, and we recovered. Where I'm in the living room, jumping down, screaming, going crazy because I'm thinking we're about to tie this game, or we're about to take a lead. It's about to be 26-27. We're about to win. We're about to take the lead. Let's find out it's incomplete. Then we stop them. Dak Prescott, for some odd reason, runs the ball on a quarterback. I don't know why he ran the ball in this situation. He runs it with 10 seconds left, something like that. I don't remember exact second, like 15 or something like that. Flies. Puts the ball down. I have a problem with this ref. I'm gonna say why. The center grabs the ball. And I know the ref's supposed to set the ball. The ref is supposed to be the one that sets the ball. He's supposed to touch the ball and set it. So you can hide
the ref by the rules, okay, and they had this whole argument. The ref has to touch
He
the
has
ball.
to touch the ball.
He has to touch it.
So any
And that's what
Cowboys
he was doing.
fan
He was touching the
that
ball.
tries to denounce that, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. The ref has to touch the ball. Here's my problem. I have 2 problems. 1, why the hell is he 30 yards behind Dak after he slides? and then the line's already set up. It's not like he's just, he's still no. He had to been standing there watching the play. No, if you're a ref, you run your ass behind the quarterback and you hurry up and set the ball. Why did it take him 20 years to go up there and touch a fucking football? If he's that old and in that out of shape, he should not be setting the football. So that pissed me off firsthand because it shouldn't take that long to set a football. Second, when he finally got up there after 20 years, he got the ball, set it one area, then reset it. Motherfucker, touch the football, let the center hike it. Like, you don't have to be perfect. Just touch the ball so the center can hike it and we can spike it. I'm not saying the Cowboys would have won if we got that 1 second. I'm not saying it.
Right.
There's still a chance, though. But that pisses me off. Those two things about that ref. And that ref should never be allowed to set the fucking football again.
Yeah, I think we all can agree that reffing in the NFL for probably about the last, 3 to 4 years has been an absolute shit show. Nobody knows what's supposed to be what. We don't know what's supposed to be a catch. We don't know what's supposed to be down. We don't know what's supposed to be out. Possession, we don't fucking know anything because they've made it so overly complicated that nobody knows any of this. I think it's lack of awareness of that ref to not know simple, like, hey, even if he takes off running with this ball, he's going to get down and he has to stop the clock or he has to do something else. Yeah, so I need to be ready. So as soon as you see him take off running and the rest of the linemen go down there, oh, I probably should be behind him. Now he's just kind of back there, just kind of lost. That's kind of the problem with a lot of this. Sometimes you have these refs who never played the game before. This is just it's a career to them, but they lack certain knowledge to be reffing the game. That's why a lot of this stuff has been overly complicated. And I think this has been one of the worst years I've seen for reffing in the NFL. But Dallas does what Dallas do, okay? On paper, when you look at both teams, they should just steamroll fucking the Niners. It's Jimmy G for crying out loud, okay? Jimmy G had 176 yards passing, no TDs. And how did you still lose to them? Penalties. Dallas is not fucking disciplined. I don't care how much talent you got on that damn team. When those fucking people ain't disciplined, what was it? Like 15 penalties?
Yeah, I think
15, 16 penalties?
It's like 15 or 14. I know it's like the most in postseason.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. When you're in the postseason and you're on a playoff run, you damn near have to play perfect. When you have 15 to 16 penalties, I don't care how good you are. So Tampa, if Tampa have that many penalties, it's really hard for them to win. And on paper, they're pretty much better than any other team that they're going to go up against. So today, Dallas killed their own season. That's what Dallas do.
It's just one of those things where it's like, honestly, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say fire Mike McCarthy just yet, just because if you look where we were last year and where we are now, this was a good rebound year. A lot of teams don't have a rebound year like this after having a 4-win season. They don't. They don't go to 12 wins the next very year after having a 4-win season. It's not really that. It just showed, or maybe it just means that the Cowboys are so talented that, that the coaching didn't really affect them that much this year. I don't know what it is. So maybe we do need to fire Mike McCarthy. I don't know. I do know that Jerry Jones said that if we did lose this game, that he would be very, very disappointed. And we know Jerry Jones he'll fire Mike. But the thing is, who do you hire?
Yeah, so here's another thing is well. Like a lot of the, from what I'm seeing on Bleacher Report and stuff, is the refs this, the refs that. It should have never gotten to the point to where it was in the hands of the refs for starters, okay? And for two, how many people on Dallas coaching staff is up for a promotion, possibly going to a different head coaching job, a different offensive coordinator job? I mean, so that right there, it almost felt like some people may have been a little bit distracted when you look at Kellen Moore, when you look at Dan Quinn, and
Dan Quinn,
people
I don't
like
think we're
that.
leaving. I don't think Dan Quinn's leaving now. It sounds like he really likes being at Dallas.
As Man, I don't know, man, because Dan Quinn and the GM of the Broncos have history. So apparently, right now, Dan Quinn is our front runner for the head coaching job at Denver.
I think the
Apparently,
I think
that's just rumor. That's what's out there.
I think the way Dan Quinn leaves, he's from New Jersey. If the Giants job opens up, and if he goes there, I think the
That's a
Giants job is open.
possibility.
I think the Giants job is
That's a
open now.
possibility. Yeah. Joe Judge did get fired.
So I think that could be a job he may want, maybe in the Broncos. Who knows? But I do remember hearing that he said that this is the most fun I've ever had coaching football in the NFL.
I mean,
And
look at the studs he got. I
yeah,
mean,
and then
shit, I
also
don't blame
mentioned
him.
he was a head coach at Atlanta. He knows what it's like to be a head coach. Does he really think that he wants to go through that again when he's already in a great position right now in Dallas? You have a lot of elite guys on your defense staff. You're winning. You could very, and I know a lot of Dallas fans are hurt right now. We could very well, for all we know, next year, run the table and go to the Super Bowl. Who knows? Because we did not expect to have 12 wins this year. So who knows that next year we take that next leap and we'll go all the way to the Super Bowl. We don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe Dan Quinn might think, hey, I don't want another head coaching job after that Atlanta job. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm having fun doing what I'm doing here at Dallas. I have the guys I want. I like my staff. I like the guys that are my GM. I like my owner. I'm happy where I'm at. Now, Kellen Moore, I don't
He's
know.
gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
I'm pretty sure he's gone. He's going somewhere. And be honest with you, bro, I don't. In my mind, it's kind of like, do you fire Mike McCarthy and hire Kellen Moore?
No. From what I hear is Kellen Moore is soft. I mean, let's just put it. I mean, let's
He's
just
very
put it
hot
bluntly.
with his play calling too.
Yeah, he's soft.
Order hot.
He is too soft to run a team like Dallas with the spotlight, with Jerry Jones, with some of the personalities and the egos that he has on that team. There's no way he can run that
So
team.
my question is, what do you? So let's say if I'm gonna ask you this because you probably know more about this than I do. Let's say Mike McCarthy is fired. We go for a head coaching search. Who do you hire? Who do you think they would go after? Would they go into the NFL ranks or would they dip down in college? Because now I'm seeing a lot of people saying Lincoln Riley. I don't think Lincoln's leaving USC before he even coaches a damn football game there. But apparently, Dallas is his dream job. That was he almost left OU for that job in 2019.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, dude, to me, Lincoln Riley is like Kellen Moore. He's soft. He's not
saying
there.
I want him, by the way. I'm not saying
he's not there yet. Personally, there's other people out there that's better. You got Jim Caldwell that I'm hearing that wants to get back into coaching. There's the Ball from Buffalo. There's Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs. Hell, even look at Brian Flores. I mean, there's other options out there. My guess is, I mean, hell, having the knowledge like somebody like Jim Caldwell, hell, look what Eric Bieniemy is doing under Andy Reid, and look what he's been doing. Eric Bieniemy has been with Mahomes his whole career. I mean, look at something like that. Look at the Ball. Look what he's done with Josh Allen. I mean, fuck, that dude he's playing fucking lights out.
Would you fire?
So I would look at something like that.
So would you fire Mike McCarthy or keep him on Dallas? If you're a Dallas, would you fire him or keep him?
It's too early to fire him now.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, I'm thinking it's too early.
So the focus right now is not on McCarthy, okay, in Dallas. The focus is on the refs. Okay, so, and I mean, for crying out loud, the dude did get you to the he got you into the playoffs.
Yeah, but right? Jason Garrett got some damn playoffs.
The red-haired clapper, baby. The red-haired clapper. Yeah, but no,
I mean, come on.
No, I think this buys him more
I
time
would buy
because,
them
like I
with
said, I
that.
think right now the focus is not on him. The focus is on the ref. That's why they got screwed. If it wasn't for the refs, we'll be going on further. And I think they're going to drum that up pretty damn good over the next couple weeks. It's kind of too early to fire on. But also next year is really telltale because if what potentially could happen, you could be without Dan Quinn, you could be without Kellen Moore. So you're gonna have some coaching holes in your most important spots on your defense is what's been kind of lights out for Dallas this year with a lot of the pieces that they got on defense. Also with Kellen Moore, your creative play caller, with him potentially leaving, depending on how he does after that, then you go from there.
All right. So, do you want, since we all know you're a Denver fan, lighten us some news on Denver Broncos. What's been on with Denver Broncos, the roster, the coaching search? What has been the news on Denver?
Okay. Let's back up a little bit on Denver then. Okay. I think part of Denver's issues this year was there was a divide. Okay. I followed the quarterback competition extremely closely. So I followed the quarterback competition between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater very closely. By all accounts, Drew Lock should have won that job.
Start.
Well, it wasn't that I just wanted Drew Lock to start. He, from what I could read and research and what was being reported to me, Drew Lock was clearly the better quarterback. It was a lot of media drum up. They reported the bad stuff that Drew Lock did, but they never reported the bad stuff Teddy Bridgewater did. All that bullshit. Okay, so that's kind of where you started off wrong. Vic Fangio, that dude he should never, ever, which at his age, he'll never be considered for a head coaching job ever again. That dude is a defensive coordinator. He thinks like a defensive coordinator. He has the attitude of a defensive coordinator. I felt like Vic Fangio held grudges against certain players, and he kind of tampered with their season. The time Vic Fangio came into the Denver Broncos organization, he openly criticized Von Miller, and he didn't stop doing that until the day Von Miller left. If you look at Von Miller's career under Vic Fangio, I mean, Von Miller should have been top in every category under Vic Fangio. But Vic Fangio did, in my opinion, he didn't like Von Miller. He wasn't as high on Von Miller as the rest of the league or people inside the organization was. That's why he had him doing stupid shit that led to bad seasons and what he could have potentially had been. Okay, so now Vic Fangio got fired, offensive coordinator got fired, and the Broncos is potentially up for a sale. So,
that's true.
That is true. With the Pat Bowlen Trust, they finally hit their final stage in court. There's a bunch of legal jargon, and basically the team can now go up for a sale. None of the kids are going to assume ownership over the team. Basically, it's going to go out to be sold. I think I just read something where they're going to auction it off. Right now, it sounds like the front runners to buy the team is an ownership group, including Peyton Manning, and a separate ownership group, including John Elway.
I heard Peyton Manning. I heard about that one.
Yeah. So Peyton Manning has so Peyton Manning, he has an ownership group. It's like him and a couple other people. I'm not 100% sure who's all in it, but that's one ownership group. You have another ownership group. Yeah, there's another ownership group with John Elway and some of his people that want to buy the team. So let the best man win. I mean, personally, I don't give a fuck who owns Denver, the Broncos. There just needs to be some accountability. That's why Denver has been the way they have been for the past couple of years, because it's been no accountability from top down, from ownership, GM down to head coach. We haven't had that. So there's been nobody to crack the whip and hold people accountable. And now it kind of seems like you're going to get that, and we're also going through a head coaching search. With the head coaching search, it's kind of pissing a lot of people off because when you think about the best people that's available for the job, those people are actually not on the list. And it's making a lot of people mad. Yeah, you got Eric Bieniemy. He's been considered. Dan Quinn, and that's pretty much it. Brian Flores hasn't been talked to. Jim Caldwell hasn't been talked to. DeBall, he hasn't been talked to. It's like what's going on, and it seems like with the relationship that our GM has with Dan Quinn, a lot of people say he's the front runner. So who knows? I'm not opposed to Dan Quinn being our head coach, depending on who he staffs around him. Because make no doubt about it, Dan Quinn has been very successful on the defensive side of the ball. He coached Seattle. He's coached them. He coached a very good defense in Seattle. Look what he's doing right now for Dallas. Dallas has a good defense. Now, head coach in Atlanta, it's questionable. We can go back to the Super Bowl and what they did the year after and look at his other season. That's a different story. But when you look at some of the other people that should be considered, so why is Dan Quinn top of your list when you have somebody like Eric Bieniemy with the Chiefs? You're in the same division. Look what he's done with Mahomes. Why is he not front runner? Yeah. That right there is kind of frustrating to some of the people in the fan base, and it's kind of leaves some head scratchers.
Yeah, it sounds like a bunch of shit going on there right
now. Sounds like we have one of the roughest situations in the whole entire NFL. Not only is the team being sold, you have no head coach. So
I have no OC.
Yeah. So it's a lot. I think this off season is probably going to be the most interesting off season probably in Broncos history, because now you get new ownership, you get a new coaching staff. Who will they keep? Who will they retain? Just like I was telling my wife, we've drafted based on the type of offense and defense we've ran. Mm-hmm. What if you get somebody else in there and it's like, nah, we're not doing that. So you could be in a complete rebuild stage.
My God, I'm telling you, brought Teresa in that fan base too.
Down. Yeah.
You hear me?
Oh yeah. The what?
So my God, don't tell me you brought Teresa in that fucking Denver fan base too.
Hey, we're a different Bronco household, okay? We won't fuck with, we're straight. I couldn't have my wife both, rooting for somebody like Dallas and root for Denver. Fuck that.
I feel the same way about Philly and the rest of the Eastern Division and the NFC. So I feel you on that.
Absolutely.
But we'll go ahead and dive in real quick about the Kansas City Pittsburgh game. It's just like the Buccaneers. There's really no good games besides Bengals, Raiders, Cowboys, 49ers this weekend with the wild card games.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only ones.
Yeah. You had a Kansas win 42-21. Patrick Mahomes threw like 405 yards or some shit like that, bro. Went off. Patrick Mahomes doing Patrick Mahomes. Is it really a surprise that what Ben Roethlisberger said in that interview on the media day with them when he said, I don't know, we deserve to be here, but we're going to go out there and have fun. We got lucky getting here. So I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. Right. I'm like, dude, you even have your running back, Najee Harris, say, what the hell are you talking about, dude? On Instagram. Really,
yeah.
What do you think was going to happen if you're a Pittsburgh fan?
Yeah, see, I think that's, you lost the game before you even arrived in Dallas. You lost the game. Before you arrived in Kansas, you already lost the game because the leader of that team didn't even believe that you should have even been there. So That's the first fuck up. And they had no answer. They had absolutely no answer for Kansas City at any point during that game. At first, it kind of looked kind of close, with the interception ran back and stuff like that. It looked a little close, but man, Kansas City said, "Hey man, hold my beer, watch this,"
Patrick
and they
Mahomes
just
does,
started
though.
firing off. They just
Patrick
started
Mahomes does.
firing off. Yeah, I mean Patrick Mahomes, he went out there and did what Patrick Mahomes do,
I mean,
and
dude, it's just.
shit.
I mean, like, what can he do? I mean, so where do you think Pittsburgh goes after this? Like, because let me ask you this: do you think maybe Ben Roethlisberger was not planning on being in that playoff game? Because we all know this is his last season. Let's be honest, this is his last season
Well, yeah,
as
yeah,
a
yeah,
football.
and he's already said this is his last season.
Did he
So
want to play in this playoff game? Did he actually want to be in the playoffs, or did he just want to say, "Hey, I had my goodbye tour. I'm done." That's what it sounds like. I mean, it sounds
I
like he
mean
just wanted to do his goodbye tour
that
and be done.
that begs the question, what was his mindset going into the game? Did he truly want? Okay, so let's say they won, then you're stretching it out. You're stretching it out. He probably wants to be done. He wants to be done with Pittsburgh. I mean, bro, who knows? I think where Pittsburgh goes from here is you got to find another quarterback.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh don't even have a quarterback on the roster. I mean,
Mason Rudolph.
yeah, don't even bring that guy up. What's old boy from Ohio State? He was so irrelevant.
Deshaun Hacks.
No, the quarterback from Ohio State that came out went to Washington,
Yeah,
washed out of
Haskins. Was it
there.
Haskins?
Haskins, sorry,
That's like
Haskins.
Deshaun Haskins. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or, yeah. I was like, he's there. He's at
yeah,
Pittsburgh.
Haskins. Yeah, he's at Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
So you
I
got
think that.
Haskins, Rudolph, and somebody else. I mean, it's you got a bad quarterback room in Pittsburgh, a really bad one. So there's nobody in the draft that's, in my opinion, that's a franchise quarterback from day one. So I think at the Big Ben leaves and hangs it up after this season, it's going to be some rough times. Mike Tomlin, I mean, that begs the question: is he still the guy going forward?
Yeah, is he in the hot seat after this? Maybe. I mean, I don't think Pittsburgh's gonna be winning much games if Ben Roethlisberger. I mean,
There's been some talks here and there about Mike Tomlin being on the hot seat, but you showed up in Kansas and you wasn't even fucking ready to play.
that has some
So I
to do
think
with your
that begs the
quarterback, though.
question. And then also, why did you not? I mean, you should have known. I mean, we've known this for the past couple of seasons that Big Ben is on his way out, and yet you didn't bring anybody in there to replace him. Yeah, you brought in Haskins. You shouldn't have fucking done that. So what have you been doing there? So that right there, to me, I mean, if your job is in jeopardy, that's kind of your own fault because you didn't have a backup plan.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they should have saw this coming for a while now. I feel like Ben
Yeah,
Roethlisberger.
I did. I'm
I
not
did.
even
Yeah.
there.
I mean, a lot of fans saw this coming. Even Pittsburgh fans saw this coming. And it's one of those things where it's like you have to start thinking about the future at some point. Look at Green Bay.
Gotcha.
Look at Green Bay with the draft with Jordan Love. Um, do I think it's weird they drafted him out of all the quarterbacks? A little bit. But it
Yeah.
shows that, maybe they did their scouting report on him. Maybe they saw him and they said, no, we can develop this guy behind Aaron Rodgers like we did with Brett and Aaron. We can develop this guy. We can get him ready by the time Aaron's done, that Jordan's the next guy up. Maybe, it showed that Green Bay is thinking about the future of Aaron Rodgers. They are thinking about it. They know it's coming. And it shows that Pittsburgh did not think about this. They just said, hey, we're going to try to get a Super Bowl right before you get out the door. And, it sucks if you're a Pittsburgh fan. I mean, I'm lucky as a Cowboys fan that we got Dak Prescott. Let's be real. Dak Prescott is not a bad quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback in the league. And he's still young.
Absolutely.
And we pay him his money. And I'm lucky that I don't have to worry about this for a while. But even when it does come time, I want to know my organization's thinking about the future. I want to know, hey, Jackson didn't just run here. We need to start looking at quarterbacks in the next 2 drafts. That's what Pittsburgh should have started doing. That's what Green Bay's doing. That's why I feel like Green Bay is one of those organizations where they'll always be a good football team because their organization just thinks. They think about the future. They're not stuck in the present. And if you look at their roster, they've built a superstar roster right now. I think Aaron Rodgers is another 3 years in. The way he's playing right now, he's not slowing down.
He does. The only question is
Will it be in Green Bay?
Where is it going to be? Will it be in Green Bay? Will it even be in general? Make no doubt about it. Aaron Rodgers has taken a lot of shots this season, and that begs the question because it's been a lot of cryptic messages coming from Aaron Rodgers. Will I even continue next year? Will I go do something else to where I don't have to worry about some of the bullshit that's going on in the NFL right now?
I really hope he does continue playing. So I enjoy watching him play. I think he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's one. I mean, honestly, I think it was. I don't know because I can't really say because I didn't watch Joe Montana's. I watched Troy Aikman's old highlights at Cowboys. I mean, I honestly think it goes Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I really do. Overall, I think Aaron Rodgers.
What you talking about right now in the NFL?
Well, right now, but also it's overall for me, just because Aaron Rodgers only has 1 Super Bowl, but I am that big a believer in Aaron Rodgers. I think he's had nothing but a stellar career at Green Bay. I do really like Aaron Rodgers a lot. I think he's an awesome guy. I think he's an awesome quarterback. I think he's an amazing talent. So I do think Aaron Rodgers, to me, is probably the second best quarterback in all time. Loss is. Oh.
Was that me or you?
I think it was you. You back?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Sorry.
Back to what I was saying. I do think overall, like this history-wise, Aaron Rodgers might be the second best quarterback behind Tom Brady because, I mean, he is consistent. The Packers are always in the NFC Championship. It seems like all the time. They can really have that little hump, but I mean, he is an amazing talent. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just personally believe that Aaron's watching him play. It's always fun watching him and Tom Brady do it out. It is. It's awesome. So
yeah,
I don't know how you feel about it, but it's just awesome. Like this, I'm looking for like last year's NFC Championship. It was fun watching that between the Buccaneers and Packers. This year it'd be even better if the Buccaneers and Packers make it to meet each other in the NFC Championship. So I don't know. It's just fun to watch those two go at it. And I think they're number 1, and he's number 2.
Agreed.
All right. So with that being said, Dave, do you have anything you want to add, college or football or NFL wise?
Well, I think we all can look forward to Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes dueling it out next week. I mean, honestly, I would really love to see Buffalo Bills Mafia go all the way, but they got a tough task ahead. But I do think they got the team that can stop the Chiefs. What do you think?
Honestly, I think Buffalo has a very good chance this year of going all the way. I think they can beat Kansas. I honestly do think they can beat Kansas. Now the thing is with the AFC is whoever comes out the NFC, whoever it is that comes out the AFC, they're gonna have their hands full whoever comes out the NFC because the NFC is so deep this year with the Cowboys, the Packers, the Buccaneers. I mean, they were.
We'll see what happens tomorrow with LA and the Cards.
Yeah, LA and the Card. I forgot about the Rams and Cardinals. You had about 6 teams this year in the NFC that you could say at one point may have been the best team in the NFL. Because, I mean, the 49ers, they look really good the end stretch here. They look really good. Rams, Cardinals, we all know that at different points, either one of those teams look like the best team. Packers are the best team in the NFL. So, I mean, and the Buccaneers, they have Tom Brady. You can never count Tom Brady out. And that's why they were 2 seed in the NFC side. So whoever, whether it's Buffalo, Tennessee, Kansas, whoever it is, they're gonna have their hands full in the Super Bowl. And I think that, my opinion, the best team to dethrone whoever it is in the NFC would be Buffalo. I really do. I do think Buffalo is better than Tennessee. I do believe that. I think Buffalo should be number 1 seed in the AFC. Even though it didn't come out that way, I do think Buffalo overall is the best team in the AFC, and I do think they have the better chance out of all the teams in the AFC to beat a Buccaneers, a Packers, a 49ers, a Rams, Cardinals. I don't know how you feel about it, David. Tell me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Chiefs, yes, I think they have a lot of firepower, but I don't know, man. It's just something about that Bills team, man. Dude, they're just built differently. I mean, being from up there in northern New York, man, that game the other night was like a negative. I think with wind chills, -6 out there. Them boys are built differently up there, and they got something real special going on. And I just really hope that they finish it out. I kind of hope to see some new blood in that Super Bowl this year. But hey, if Tom Brady spanks everybody on the way, then damn it, he deserves to be there. You know,
Packers,
you
Buffalo,
can
Super
hope
Bowl.
for.
Packers,
Yeah,
Buffalo, Super Bowl. That's what I
yeah.
want to
Let's
see.
go.
That'd be an awesome Super Bowl to watch. But
Absolutely.
with that being said, David, want to add anything else before we head it off here?
Nah, man. Hey, appreciate it always being on here, being able to talk sports, being able to talk, football and stuff. Mason, I've always said he's one of the smartest people that I talk to when it comes to football, sports, college football, recruiting. There's been multiple times I sent him articles and stuff like that and ask for his opinion
Mm-hmm.
and just get his opinion because I know he knows it.
Vice versa. I mean, David. Vice versa. I mean, that's why me and David do this podcast because we're both very knowledgeable in football. We both have very passionate for sports, and we don't just talk our head out of our ass. We be realistic. If our teams suck, they suck. We're very into sports. That's just what me and him grew up around. David's very knowledgeable too. Like I said, I'll text him all the time about recruits and ask, what do you think about this kid that's coming to OU, or should Dallas draft this guy? Like I said, next year I want to draft Jordan Davis out of Georgia in the defensive line. I think we need bigger guys up front. And today proved that. And I want Jordan Davis out of Georgia. I think if we can trade up to get him, if he's that early of a pick. I haven't really looked at the draft order since the mock draft since the national championship. But I imagine Jordan Davis is somewhere up there in top 10. But vice versa to David. Maybe I don't know yet. I'm just now getting back into college basketball now because of football season's come to an end for me. I'll still be watching the playoffs, and we'll probably make me and Dave will probably make a conference championship podcast or Super Bowl podcast. But overall, Dave, I don't know if you'd be down for this because David is starting to dive into basketball because his son Cam plays he plays basketball in high school level, and Cam's very good. And I think eventually we'll get college looks and all that. So Dave's been diving more into college basketball and NBA. So maybe if we find time, maybe in March during March Madness, right before March Madness, we can talk about college basketball. Keep the podcast going because I gotta go take care of stuff for my future career March 29th. But by that time, March Madness should already starts. Me and Dave should already have a podcast out before March Madness starts. But maybe we can start diving into college basketball a little bit more. Talk about that. That way we can still keep things coming to the channel. Because I do post by myself about OU news stuff, but eventually the OU news will stop coming. Eventually just be a dead period where it's just training, transfer pros will stop coming to the close eventually. Recruiting's gonna kind of die down. So I need something to keep the channel more alive, something to post to keep the channel alive. So that might be an option. But if you guys have any other opinions on what we could post or for a pod when we get time to do them, let us know some ideas in the comments below. As always, it's been your boy Boomer Mackey. Boomer's here. How about them Cowboys? David, anything else you want to finalize say?
Nah, man, that's it. Appreciate y'all.
All right, guys. As always, appreciate the love and support. Peace.